Interesting.
Te iwi Māori, tangata tiriti. That'll teach him. Mr. Speaker, this Treaty of Principles Bill has been an emotional roller coaster. I know that for many of the people who made their voices heard, they didn't have the time or the money or the energy to give, and yet they showed up in droves. The whole process was so difficult because at every juncture in this journey, we gave them an opportunity to change their minds. We battled in select committee at every single meeting and said, okay, New Zealand First and National Party, let's get rid of the bill then if you don't support it so much. And those opportunities were turned down. It was a privilege to absorb all of the knowledge and the wisdom from all of the people that came to talk to us, from Ani Makaire to Vincent O'Malley to Honourable Crispin Layson. I felt so much shame and so much sadness in many of those submissions as we had iwi come and talk to us, some so angry they were shaking. They couldn't even articulate the trauma that this whole process has rehashed. And this was an example of Parliament sticking the knife in again and again and again. Mr. Speaker, I was fighting for my life in Select Committee. I remember very tense conversations, even amongst opposition parties, because there is more than one way to skin a cat, and there are more than one ways to kill a bill. And we all had different ideas, but we all knew that this needed to go in the bin. So I want to acknowledge Duncan, Tracy, Ginny, Takuta, for all of the mahi that we did, representing the kotahitanga that our people want to see, that they deserve, and behind closed doors. Hard, methodical, genuine mahi behind closed doors as well. And as satisfying as it would be to say a massive shame, I will leave it with a whakatauki that one of my tupuna said from Ngāti Awa, Te Tainga o Te Rā. Waiho mā te whakamā e patu. Let shame be their punishment. I want to give a special mihi to all of my colleagues who have put in the mahi. We collected 13,000 signatures. We collected 640 postcards. We went into schools. We went into touch tournaments. We went to community hui. We also went into the club and collected submissions. I also want to acknowledge my friend and colleague, Steve Abel, for being my tag team partner in all of the submissions. Steve represents a generation of people who were not lucky enough to be taught about te tiriti in schools, but whose earnest dedication to learning and to fighting besides iwi to stop the ransacking of our coastlines, our forests and our whenua is what made him realise that our interests, tangata tiriti and te iwi Māori, are not different, they are the same. And so to every tangata tiriti who made their voices heard and said that that little man does not represent your views, kia ora to you. I would like to acknowledge Eru Kapakingi, Rihanna Tingahue and Luke Fitzmaurice-Brown for bringing the kōrero to TikTok, bringing it to the new generations to understand what the conversation meant and that their voices were important. And I want to thank the Zanes, the Bloody Samoans, the Cassies, the Rafatiroas, the Shamias for bringing this conversation to the people, making it accessible. E te iwi, the fight is not over despite their crocodile tears. We still have a government that is willing to use our mana as a cheap bargaining tool. Despite what the New Zealand First member has just told us, they are the ones that want to remove 28 general treaty clauses across legislation. That is disgraceful. They are the ones that want to introduce the fast-track bill that will ride roughshod over important treaty rights for our whenua. Attacks on Indigenous people everywhere are happening right now. This was not unique to Aotearoa. This was part of a coordinated plan to undermine Indigenous people everywhere. But I say to my First Nations brothers and sisters in Australia, as I do to the Palestinians who are having bombs dropped over their heads in Gaza right now, that we stand together. They will not win. Mr. Speaker, they may have deep pockets, but we have the people power and we will not be quiet. And this is a valuable lesson to leave our tiriti alone.
Sorry, that shame will always live rent-free in my head. It doesn't have to pay rent ever.
I mean, this is the whole thing. It's not the people in power, it's the power in the people. And this is what the Green Party is bringing time and time again. They are out in the communities, they're at rugby games, they're actually in the community. I haven't seen Luxon involved in the community or doing anything hands-on since
I haven't
day
seen
one.
Luxon in the house.
No, I mean, like...
Yeah, he's only in there in question time.
Well, he's only got his minions in there, you know? Like, he's off flying on planes. He's like, look, I'll get someone to write you a speech and you'll be fine. You know, but even that is not camaraderie. Even that is not supporting your people by ditching out of your responsibility as a leader.
A note of here.
Half the party's gone.
Yeah, the only person sitting on the front bench is Casey Costello.
Forever alone.
But they're saying they're listening to the people and providing for the people, but they're not listening to the people, are they? Because they're not even there.
Yeah. I mean, you know, are they watching on Parliament TV in their offices?
No, they're not. They're in some sort of...
Or are they watching it on mute? Or not watching it at all?
No, they're just dipping out of any kind of accountability at all. And this is who we're trusting? This is who we're trusting. He's probably in the Koru lounge sipping on a nice wine or something. And some poor soul the speech to speak on behalf. Now, is that a sign of mana? When your leader will not even stand there and fight or listen or be accountable for submissions that they created. This is who we're giving our whole autonomy and power of this whenua to lead, guide, love, nurture all of us, and they can't even show up.
Yeah, I mean, Luxon just casually drove over Māori with a bus. I mean, he might as well at least have the decency to turn up.
I mean, this is our leader. This is the people that are in charge of our whenua and people, and they're not here. They're vacant.
Yeah. And just to say, Jerry didn't interrupt another Māori.
Oh,
yes.
Who was the lucky Māori?
Tamatha.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to our Facebook.